Hakeem Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
Aware of Senator Ekweremadu's unblemished record as a constitutional lawyer, ranking legislator at the highest level in Nigeria,
House urges federal government to ensure Senator Ekweremadu's trial in the UK conforms to the norms of human rights.
To investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime from 2017 to 2021.
And House calls for investigation of petroleum product subsidy regime. A warm welcome to House Ticket, a weekly enlightenment program on the activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. The House is taking time off plenary to join Nigerians in marking the Eid-El-Kabir Celebrations. But before adjourning for the Sallah Break, a number of issues were attended to, a number of motions under matters of urgent public importance and in form of bills. In the course of the program, we will also go over to the committee rooms to see first-hand events outside the chamber. The program resumes after this short break. Please stay tuned.
The entire purpose of the legislative agenda is to direct our legislative resources and efforts in a coordinated effort to ensure the well-being of the individual in a life of safety and freedom. That is a high ambition, but it's well worth the effort. We have passed landmark legislation to fix our oil and gas industry, reform the police, and reorganize the corporate administration system in our country. We have considered and passed meaningful legislation that impacts all areas of our national life.
Thanks for staying tuned. We shall start off with a summary of plenary proceedings for Tuesday 28th to Thursday 30th of June 2022. Bills, motions and matters of urgent public importance were considered by the House with far-reaching resolutions adopted. But before then, let us take the Speaker's address, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, who expressed his gratitude to his colleagues on the floor of the House in commemorating his 60th birthday anniversary. Before the commencement of plenary proceedings for Tuesday 28 June 2022, the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, extended his appreciation to all the honorable members who in different ways acknowledged the milestone in his life and made it memorable for him when he turned 60 years of age on Saturday 25th June 2022. Speaking on the news of the arrest of their parliamentary colleague Senator Ekweremadu of Enugu State and his wife, Dr. Mrs. Beatrice Nwaneke Ekweremadu in the United Kingdom, the Speaker had this to say.
We will all do well to remember that a criminal charge does not constitute a conviction or conclusive proof of guilt. This is merely the beginning of a judicial process to substantiate the facts of the allegation and gather sufficient evidence to sustain the charges therein. Until that process is concluded, and even then, let us keep in mind that at the heart of this matter, there are human beings and fellow citizens whose lives have taken a turn none of us will ever wish for ourselves.
After the address, the full business of the day commenced. Let us take a report of the day's proceedings as presented from our studio, starting with matters of urgent public importance, followed by bills and motions. Keep watching.
the House notes with concern that
Representative Abdullahi Abdul Qadir moved a motion on the need for the federal government to ensure that the investigation by the Metropolitan Police of the United Kingdom against Senator Ekweremadu conforms to the norms of human rights that ensure innocence of an accused until proven guilty.
confident that the federal government of Nigeria will, through the respective organs of government and using all available tools, ensure that the investigation and outcome of this will be conducted with the highest fidelity to the rule of law and with respect for the dignity of the person as enshrined in the European Convention of Human Rights, to which the United Kingdom is a signatory.
It could be recalled that Senator Ekweremadu and his wife, Dr. Mrs. Beatrice Ekweremadu, were arrested in the United Kingdom on the allegations of organ harvesting. Other lawmakers contributed to the motion.
There ought to have been more a thorough and a fair assessment of the facts prior to, the subject, the present travails of the Okwara matters. And if that has not been done, I think this motion speaks to it. This motion speaks to the fact that, look, there should be fairness to all.
I plead with honorable colleagues to support this motion, to lend our voice, to call on Nigerians to be cautious of how they tarnish people's image just for something, because the authorities from London or anywhere, or Metropolitan Police, somebody reported to them. We're not saying they should not do investigation. They are doing their work. We should not even condemn our district, because they are going to judge based on documents and evidence before them. But for us as a people, we should also look between the lines to know that there are certain things that we do not just begin to make comments.
The Nigerian High Commissioner, who has been extremely proactive in this matter, and expressed the need for him to continue to avail Senator Ekweremadu with all the necessary assistance that he will need to prove his case. I think this should be heightened as well. We should heighten it to the UK Parliament. I will try and get in touch with the Speaker of Parliament, who I was opportunity to meet with and had fruitful discussions with just a couple of months ago. And I believe Honorable Buba Yusuf should also get in touch with his Foreign Affairs counterpart in the UK Parliament.
The Ministry of Health and the Nigerian Embassy in London should provide every assistance to Ms. Sonia Ekweremadu in the absence of her parents, pending when the issue has been resolved.
The motion was voted on and adopted as amended.
Against, please say nay. Ayes have it.
One of the prayers of the motion include to mandate the Committee on Foreign Affairs to liaise with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, British High Commission to brief them on the case and ensure justice prevails.
On Saturday, 25th June 2022, of an ongoing oil leak,
Representative Ibrahim Isiaka, on his part, moved a motion on the urgent need to investigate oil spills at OML 18, OML 29, and the status of all idle and isolated oil wells to avert renewed hostilities in Niger Delta region of the country. In leading the debate, Representative Ibrahim Isiaka raised alarm that the National Oil Spillage Detection and Response Agency on Saturday, June 25, 2022, confirmed an ongoing leak towards the south of Port Harcourt in Rivers State, which has been on for up to a week.
as at date, the expected statutory required joint investigation visit by all relevant stakeholders of the government agencies are yet to be carried out, which means that the leak, as it were, portends grave consequences to the ecosystem and the affected communities.
Being investigative in nature, the motion was not debated. However, the House adopted a prayer which called on the House Committees on Petroleum Resources Upstream and Environment to undertake a holistic assessment of the situation and report back to the House within 12 weeks for further legislative action. The motion was voted on, adopted, and referred to the House Committees on Petroleum Upstream and Environment.
6 out of the 10 wards in Bukuim local government of Zamfara State are currently under siege by armed bandits.
Still under matters of urgent public importance, Representative Suleiman Abubakar moved a motion on the urgent need to bring to an end the siege of communities in Zamfara State by armed bandits.
On Monday, 21st June 2022, armed bandits attacked Ruwan Rana, Bindin Mbaya, Ruwan Jema, Rafin Maiki, Buzuzu, Gizaza, and Maizago villages, where they killed 11 persons, injured many others, and also rustled cattle and destroyed properties in the process.
Representative Abubakar stated that ransom demands and taxing of residents by the bandits have become a norm and is highly worrisome. The motion was voted and adopted.
Those against the say nay. Ayes have it.
Prayers on the motion were a call on the relevant security agencies of government to ensure they beef up the presence of security personnel in the region. The Ministry of Disaster Preparedness and Management should ensure the victims are comforted, mandate the relevant committees to ensure compliance with the resolution and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. There was a motion on the need to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime in Nigeria from 2017 to 2021. It was sponsored by Representative Sergius Ogun.
The House is also worried that the subsidy regime has been unscrupulously used by the NNPC and other critical stakeholders to subvert the nation's crude oil revenue to the tune of over 10 billion USD. The House resolves to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime from 2017 to 2021 and report back to the House within 8 weeks for further legislative action.
The motion generated contributions from some lawmakers.
If you recall, we have an ad hoc committee already in place to investigate the assets and liabilities of the NNPC.
And there's no way you handle asset and liability of an NNPC without determining the subsidy regime, how much payable to an NNPC, how much an NNPC is paying to the for on behalf of a subsidy. So on this note, we cannot differentiate both of them. But the NNPC, as of today, it has given us a record of what they've spent on subsidy as at from 2017 to date. And the report will actually tighten up the report so we can bring it to the floor of the House.
Assets and liability can never be equated with subsidy. This is periodic. 2017 to 2021 is periodic. Asset and liability can be a longer period of time. So you can't compare the two together. We are talking about two different things here. So therefore, I disagree with what my colleague has just said, that they are the same. They are not the same.
They are two different things. And the essence of us being here is not only to protect taxpayers' money, but to make sure that taxpayers' money works for taxpayers, which subsidy, if you look at it, by nature, we are trying to see that taxpayers' money that is being used to subsidize petroleum product is used for the purpose intended.
At the end, Representative Babangida Ibrahim proposed an amendment to substitute the term NNPC in the motion, as it no longer exists as an agency of government but as National Petroleum Company Limited. The motion was voted on and adopted as amended.
Ayes have it.
Other prayers include to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime from 2017 to 2021 and report back to the House within 8 weeks for further legislative action. The House also entertained a number of bills at various stages of consideration. Representative Sada Soli Jibia presented 2 bills, one of which was titled National Water Resources Bill 2020.
The National Water Resources Bill generated a lot of controversy within this Honorable House and even across the country. And some of us, Mr. Speaker, wonder why this issue is still being represented on the floor of the House.
The issues of controversy that were raised then have been addressed by all the governors. And apparently, this new bill that all the governors of the Federation, both South and North, participated on this bill. And I want to take him by his word.
All the attorney generals of the states,
of the different states and the Federation,
commented on the bill, and the Federation commented on the bill before they could address some of the issues that were raised on the floor. Let me assure my colleagues on my honor, I will not stand here to see a particular section of this country is shortchanged by a legislation of this country. If that happens, Mr. Speaker, I will withdraw the bill in the interest of this country.
I just want to plead with honorable members, no matter what position or disposition you may have for or against this bill, we wait until we come to the second reading and we debate it.
The bill was read a second time and referred to the relevant committee for further work. On Wednesday, 29th of June 2022, a bill for an act to establish Electoral Offences Commission and for related matters sponsored by Representative John D.A. and a bill for an act to establish Electoral Offences Commission and the Electoral Offences Tribunal to provide for the legal framework for investigation and prosecution of electoral offences for the general improvement of the electoral process in Nigeria and for related matters, sponsored by Representative Alhassan Ado Doguwa alongside 3 other lawmakers, were jointly presented for debate.
This was debated on the floor last sitting, and we agreed that these two bills and all other associate bills in connection with same matter be consolidated. On this note, Mr. Speaker, I, on behalf of the House, move that the three bills be consolidated.
The bills were voted on and approved for consolidation. They were debated the following day, being Thursday, 30th of June 2022, during which lawmakers agreed that the bill will go a long way in improving the electoral process in Nigeria.
Mr. Speaker, this bill is very relevant and germane for the dream or the quest for Nigeria to attain a truly democratic status country in the Committee of Nations.
This is a unique privilege, Mr. Speaker, to establish the commission that will be dedicated to the deterrence and punishment of electoral offenders. But one must quickly acknowledge that this road is not altogether new for us as a nation.
Members are very active participants in the political landscape of Nigeria, and we see electoral offenders in every election. We therefore urge members to support this bill so that it passes second reading.
You are still on to the program House Ticket, your legislative digest on the activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Away from plenary proceedings, we shall go over to the committee rooms to see what some committees have been up to. But before that, we shall also take a report on the visit of families of some of the Abuja-Kaduna train kidnapped victims to the House of Representatives. Please stay tuned for all of this.
It will be recalled that on the 28th of March 2022, a Kaduna-bound train from Abuja was attacked by bandits. The attack led to loss of lives, while others were kidnapped and have been in the den of the bandits. In the light of this, the families of the victims visited some members of the House of Representatives on Wednesday, the 29th of June 2022, urging the government to intensify the search for the abductees. The wife of one of the kidnapped victims, Mrs. Matilda Kabir, and Aminu Othman, whose brother was abducted, spoke on behalf of the families.
Here to plead again with the House of Rep. The last time they helped us, and this time the news we are getting is not favorable. We are not, to be sincere, why we even came is to come and beg him to help us, to talk to all the people. Please, Nigerians, we need your help. It is not funny again. The news we got this morning is one person was shot. We don't know who is next. My husband is there. His brother is there.
That's why we have to rush to meet the right people, to do the right thing, and pushing more pressure to the federal government and the security agency to continue to do more, fasting the release of our loved ones.
While responding, Representative Bamidele Salam said the House is engaging relevant authorities on the matter.
As we are talking to the government, we are also in touch with the negotiators, the middlemen, who are persons who directly talk to these abductors. And we are very hopeful that by the grace of God, we would get something tangible within the shortest possible time.
Representative Mansour Manusoro also spoke on the matter.
It is our commitment that we are going to leave no stone unturned in our efforts to see that these victims are rescued unhurt.
In another development, the Speaker formally inaugurated an ad hoc committee to investigate duplication of functions of agencies of the federal government.
This committee is expected to come up with solutions to the apparent continuous conflict of functions and avoidable bickering amongst established ministries, departments, and agencies, resulting in ineffectiveness, inefficiency, and redundancy in the government workforce.
Chairman of the committee, Representative Victor Mela Danzaria, on his part, said the ad hoc committee was set up as a result of the resolutions made on the motion, adding that the subject matter has become a big thorn.
The legislature is only demonstrating its sensitivity as a critical stakeholder. I want to assure Nigerians that the committee will conduct detailed investigation into the activities of some of these agencies and at the end lay a report that will go a long way in strengthening identified agencies of the federal government by ending bickering and duplications of duties and responsibilities.
Mover of the motion that led to the inauguration of the committee, Representative Muhammad Tahir Monguno, who was represented by Representative Sadasoli Jibia, said seeming corruption and challenges have been observed in the MDAs, which saw the House moving to address the concerns in order to avoid waste.
We observed some seeming elements of corruption. Corruption might not necessarily be financial corruption. Even given a clerk a file and he will hide it under the counter is a form of corruption in the administration of laws. So we observed all these challenges in this 1,484 MDAs, and we thought there is need to address this problem.
Still on reports from the committee rooms, the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company NNPC Limited, Mr. Mele Kyari, on Tuesday, lamented that there is no refinery in the country that is working at the moment, while over 200 illegal refineries are currently being operated across the country. The Group Managing Director made this known when he appeared before the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, investigating the increase in prices of diesel and cooking gas. Addressing the committee chaired by Representative Abdullahi Gaya, the GMD said though the situation is regrettable, NNPC is taking steps to bring the refineries back to work. On petroleum supply, the GMD stated that no one could guarantee the security of petroleum supply, as countries are preserving excess volume that they have in their kitty. In their presentations, some of the oil marketers appealed to lawmakers to urge the CBN to make foreign exchange available to them in order to make the importation of petrol into the country competitive, reduce the rising cost of the product, at the same time stop the overdependence on NNPC Limited.
Time to end the program here. We urge you to follow our social media handles showing on your screen to direct your observation, comments and questions, and even watch our previous programs. Let us meet again on this station for more activities of our elected representatives at the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. See you next time. Bye for now.